Hey folks, Doc Rotoball here. Well, you saw it, Pumpkin Wars 3.0 is in action. Or as I like to call it, Doc Rotoball winning everything 2.0. We'll wait and see. I got some pretty stiff competition with Jeff and Scott. If you guys don't watch their videos, I don't know what's the matter with you. You should be watching them because there's some pretty good content. You might learn something. It's been 2 weeks since I've done an update, and it's time to get to it. Hold tight. I'm gonna show you some things. Per usual, we will start at the stop sign patch. Got a few walking boards put in there since the last video. I've got a decent sized plant now out of that 1229.7 Rotoball with some secondaries buried running back not far from the border. Oh my, gonna be terminating those ones before long. The watermelon plant, look at this guys. I've actually got a watermelon plant that's starting to do things. And I'm gonna be a little bit more serious with my watermelon this year. I've got her staked out, those first two secondaries and the main. I'm gonna run the main to the border of the 150 and probably make a hard L uphill. Why not? So far so good. Not much to say except for I just put down some water. A little bit of Red Gold, which is a systemic fungicide. First time using that stuff. This plant got rolled. We had a nasty windstorm come through and ripped the fence. Here's a picture of the fence, all ripped to bits. Ugh. Of course, the plant was rolled and got everything cleaned up. You can tell the fence is much better. Yeah. I think we're going to do work here. This little naked area down here will be the field pumpkin. Just gonna put one down here this year. Probably start it on that side and run it this way. That's kind of what the thinking is. On to the main patch. Welcome to the main patch in all of our glory. We'll walk down here, open up the fence and get in there and talk about some plants and what's going on with them. You see I have some fans, set up those stumps and some stump tables. Oh, get down there, yeah. Let's go up to the 1965.5. Soil's a little bit wet. I just put down the same stuff I put on the 150 square foot plant. A little bit of Red Gold, maybe a little bit of imidacloprid. Not much nutrient, more of preventive stuff. Got a lot of secondaries rolling. Tracing back, and that one's not far from being terminated, which is exciting. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 staked up on that side, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 staked up on this side. That's 13, and I have a fruit sitting at 14 nodes, and I did pollinate it. It was pollinated yesterday. And I just threw whatever pollen I had in the patch. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. And I do that with the hope to get this plant thinking, hey, it's time to set fruit. That will not be a keeper. But I will watch it for probably 5 days and then take it off the vine. Really happy with the plant. Nice to see her off the landing strip and stretching like she's supposed to. Let's get in the chair, check that stump out. This stump is the one that early had that split. Healed up beautifully. I don't know if that's a hole in it or not, but I am sure glad to have a stump cover. It looks more holy every day. We'll see how she shakes out. We're going to put some nice fruit off of her, or we're going to try real hard at least. All right, let's go check the other one. Oh, the precarious journey to the 2365. Oh, look who it is. Frostbite. What do you say, Frostbite? Please kill me. No. Keep doing your magical work, Frostbite. Alrighty there, 2365. Wolf. It's pretty much same song and dance. Secondaries are not far from being terminated. I'll terminate them. So this is my wind fence, and I allow myself about 18 inches of walking space. So 3 days will be terminated here. And I try not to terminate it when it's here. I try to terminate it when it's here and then let it grow to there, because it will. You guys know how these things extend. Plant's a little bit beat up from that storm. I got a couple leaves that look rough, but she's still a workhorse and she's still doing nice work. A little bit of leaf burn, we're growing out of that. These very distal secondaries, they do that. That's because all your nitrogen tends to flow to the longest point. And the longest point is going to be these first secondaries and your main way out there. So this is probably the quickest route to the longest point, and it tends to get a little bit juicier. The holes in the leaves, those holes are from nasty rainstorms that splash soil that is properly balanced but heavily balanced onto those leaves, and it causes holes to form. I see it every year. Every plant I ever have, that happens. A little bit of discoloration on those first few leaves. That's UV damage. Have that every year as well. That broken one, that's from the storm. And I like to show all these defects and deficits because people see these plants online. They're like, man, Doc, that's a nice looking plant. Yeah, if it's a car show, it's a 20-footer look, you know, you're like, oh boy, that does look good. And you get close and you look like, oh man, this guy needs to do a little bit more work to his car. That's the way my plants look, and that's the way my plants always look. They're not perfect. They're close. Boy, I try to make them as perfect as possible, but you're gonna have problems. Let's check her stump. She's a pretty one. I have no issues or complaints with that stump whatsoever. About the size of a silver dollar at this point. We're gonna fill that hole sooner or later. Get this nice and safe out of the way. Down the main. Oh, isn't that a shot? Don't you love that? And yeah, there's fruit tied way down there. Oh, let's get to it. Kind of see it. There it is. Tied up. Right there. That one's, what is that? 16 secondaries, I believe, out there, tied up. And it's obviously not our keeper. I have one sitting at about 21 secondaries that I'm gonna call my hopeful at this moment. Get this plant just a touch bigger. As she sits now, guys, I don't know, 150 to 200 square foot tops. It's not a big plant, it's still a real small plant. But it'll get bigger. I believe in it. All right, so I'm gonna close this down. Let's walk down there and check out the porch pumpkin and the miter plants. Hold tight. Oh, before we get to those tomato plants down there and the porch pumpkin, check out those Vortex beans doing some work. I like those. They're yummy. You can eat them raw. 6.55 rotoball. Not bad. Starting to finally get some decent collar. And another 6.55 rotoball Mr. Ethan Ramey gave me. She's looking good. Staked her up because the wind blew it over during that storm. And that is not an 1143 PAL. That is a reused pot with some field pumpkins. I will be starting my field pumpkins this year in a pot. So I can do transplant and have them the direction I want them to be. Bottom of the main patch, putting down some tea on the big girls. Big girls get treated a little differently, guys. I really focus on them big girls. Anyway, cut to that beautiful tea footage. Oh, there she is in all of her glory. Look at that tea. Transfer pumps running up to the sprinkler head. And that tea is worm tea. So it's worm castings. About a cup. A cup of alfalfa, a cup of blood meal, maybe a quarter cup or so of fish. And every now and then I'll dash a little bit of blood meal in. I feel like my nitrogen's where it should be, so I'm not doing that. And the whole idea of the fish is not necessarily for the nitrogen, but it's for the amino acids for the bacteria to have something to eat. Same thing with the alfalfa and the beet shred. All right, let's go look at plants. Oh, the porch pumpkin, yeah. She's starting to stretch. Look at that, everybody's stretching now. Hot dog. This is a 2025 0.7 rotoball. And she is nitrogen deficient. Very squat, small plant. And that's just the way she is. Nitrogen deficient. Have been feeding her good. Just trying to get a nice porch pumpkin off of her. I've only got a few spots buried. Right there. Couple on the main. And the main idea of that is I'm not trying to grow big fruit off this and put in a lot of labor on this. I just want a nice porch pumpkin. That's the reason she's called the porch pumpkin. The carrot box. Big difference between the ones Mr. Ramey gave me and the one that I had myself. And that's just because I was out sooner than what these ones were. So there's a lot of catching up to be done. The furthest one is a 6.55 rotoball. The middle one is the 575 Ramey. And then this is the 6.55 rotoball, which happens to have a blossom. Oh boy, get in there. Yeah, nice little girl. Flicker every time you walk by her. Tickle her a little bit. If she sets, great. If she doesn't, well, that's fine too. Normally I pull that first one. I know everybody loves it, but I try to get my plants a little bit taller, run them up that T-post. And I'm not the tomato guy, so don't listen to me for advice. That's just what I do. Oh goodness. Well folks, that's the patch tour for this week. I'll try to do them weekly if I can. Otherwise you're getting them every 2 weeks like this cycle right here was. Plants are a lot bigger, looking good. I'm real happy about that. Starting to feed them pretty nice. Get them out of their landing strip, get those secondaries buried, and that's when they start to take off. And I'm burying about every 3 to 4 days now, which is what I want to be doing. And we're not far from fruit. I'd say we're going to be setting fruit 8 days to 12 days. So sometime middle of June, just pretty much like normal, which is good. That's what I like to shoot for. I'll talk to you about pumpkin wars. So pumpkin wars this year, it's going to be Doc again. And I don't know if there's going to be seed giveaways. There probably will. Maybe there won't. Maybe there will. Who knows? But if you're going to pick a team, you know which team to pick. As always, Team Doc. Guys, thanks for watching. Good luck with your grows this year. I'll see you at the scale. As always, Doc out.